All right, so on this episode of the TT Bug, episode 2, we went to Precision Tube Laser. We had some technical difficulties with a memory card. This technology thing ain't for us with the whole filming, but we can build trophy truck chassis. Essentially, we went there, we got all this 4130 chromoly from Industrial Metal Supply. Kevin worked directly with Jordan on a process of taking his designs off the computer in SolidWorks.
Mm-hmm. And exporting them out into files that they can read and essentially process into files that the tube laser can read, and then it automatically will spit out all the pieces. So,
and the cool thing about it is there's very minimal drop. Any fabricator that does anything by hand, you have so much drop and it takes so much time. We'll show you guys in a second here these tubes, how they're labeled and what these copes finish like and what they look like. We're going to include a couple clips from just like our cell phones and our IG stuff of the tube laser working, because literally this machine is $1 million machine that is just the superior machine with an automated loading system and just the latest and greatest Trump machines. Like, how badass was that? This whole chassis was cut out in what? 2-3 hours?
An hour and a half maybe each.
Yeah, so like, I mean, Kev, you spent probably what, 4 months straight engineering this chassis?
I mean, it was over the period of about a year. I remember we started first talking about it on one of our road trips.
Yep.
Last year, and yeah, it's just kind of come together over time. Working on it my free time, late nights, and whenever I can, really. And yeah, lots of prep work involved, and lots of time to get it to this point. And then once it's to this point, man, the machine will just spit them out like as many as we want. So it's a pretty cool process.
Absolutely. So come up here and check out some of the quality of this work, this laser cut, and then some of the labeling. We'll throw in some clips that we got, and then we'll dive into the whole flat plate process and some of that other stuff. And then later on another episode, we'll go in detail on all the geometry and the roll centers and leverage ratios on the shocks and stuff that Kevin methodically put into this chassis to where there's no turning back. And I mean, he's a very precision type of guy, so he went back and learned some new info, adjusted, and made this thing to where it's gonna be Jaws. That's the name of her, Jaws. She's big bad.
We're gonna let her eat.
Yeah, we're gonna let her eat. She's hungry. Come check this out.
So check out all this stuff.
Come get in deep. Get in deep on here.
So on the underside of the pallet, this is all the straight tube that we had done with Precision Tube Laser. This is literally a full chassis worth of tube right here on this pallet. And on that pallet, there's another chassis worth of tube. All the bent tubes and the radius we had done with LSK, Cal West Manufacturing. They have a sweet operation where they're a pretty awesome machine that will do the bends and the rolls all in one process basically. So they've got that super dialed in. So super excited to get that shit all fitted up. And
if you look closely, I don't know if you can see it or not, but you can see each tube is labeled with a code. This as well. Everything is labeled. So this is an insert T3 TTSD. So each one of these is imprinted into into the drawing. So we know where every one of these tubes goes. Each tube is the TTSB 17. So the B is the thickness or the diameter.
Inch and 3/4, I believe we did. Inch
Yep.
and 3/4 120 is B, and
Yep.
A is 2 inch 120. C is inch and 3/4 095, etc. So gives us a nice system to easily identify what we're looking at. And when we have a big box of little tubes like this for, say, gussets or inserts, it's really easy to look at the part number and say, okay, this goes here. I can look at my drawing on the computer and match it up very, very fast, as opposed to like trial and error trying to figure out where the hell this thing goes. So it saves a lot of time that way.
really expensive adult Legos at this point. The footwork was done on the computer for the last year by Kevin to get this to this point, and then back and forth with precision to make sure that there was no tube junctions that were fighting each other. I think out of the whole chassis, you maybe had like 1 or 2 flaws that you had to go back on.
Yeah, and it was mostly, it wasn't even so much in a flaw as much as limitations of the machine, as far as when it comes to the bends and so forth. On some of the rolls, you can only get so close to the end of the like where the notch is. The machine can only get so close to it, so you have to compensate for that in the design, and as well as LSK has some little tricks for that one too, where there's actually breakaway pieces on the tube, so the machine can pull it in and then the piece breaks off so that it gets it really close to where you want it to be. And yeah, lots of little tricks and little things that we've learned along the way that
that was
speed up the process.
That was through LSK, but I'm saying for precision and all the straight stuff, dude, it was pretty much spot on.
It was pretty much all there.
Yeah. 125 tubes. It doesn't seem like a lot when it's on the computer and you're looking at it all, and then it's all in front of you and you're like, holy shit, there's gonna be so much welding going down. So I guess now that you guys have seen the straight tube and the finished work and how clean like these notches are and how intricate some of them can be, where different junctions come together, let's show you guys their facility. Let's show you guys the flat plate work, and just run it. And so it begins. TT Bug is getting cut out, dudes. Oh shit! No way! This is crazy. This is unreal. Oh my!
Get up there, man. You gotta film your baby on the floor here, alright?
Yeah, this is like giving birth. Here we are, giving birth. Look at that. Oh my. Next level, boys and girls. We're killing it. Checking quality. Look at this. Everything's labeled. Kevin, you ever think it was gonna come to this?
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, good answer.
Progression, man. Where we've been headed for a long time.
I like it. There's all the tube for not 1 but 2 of these TT Bug chassis. And then we got all the plate work going on the flat laser next. It's gonna be a pretty eventful day here at Precision Tube Laser in Vegas. We stayed here for this. Also another jig cable to come for smaller pieces. Here's all of our flat plate that's gonna go into this this Trump machine that will just do it all. This is the auto loader right now. It's taking all the 2-inch out of a bundle that's laid in these rails right here, and then comes up, picked up by the machine, as you can see right here, measured, sighted, and put into the program for what it can cut and what's going to maximize all of our tubing. It is absolutely next level, and one of the most elite tube lasers in the game. And its efficiency right now, it's cutting out each tube in under 10 seconds. Under 10 seconds, each one of these tubes is being cut out. So we'll probably have a full chassis cut out in, what do you think a full chassis will be cut out in?
20 minutes.
Something crazy like that.
This is just the 2-inch we're doing first.
Yeah, this is all the 2-inch.
This is going to be about 20 minutes per chassis for the 2-inch.
Oh my God, so gangster. Today's a good day. This is another way for us to level up our game and show partners what we're capable of doing with our team. It's been a dream since we've been kids. Kevin and I just infatuated, eat, sleep, and breathe off-road, and started with dirt bikes with both of us, and transitioned into the with age comes a cage type of deal. But yeah, we're just gearheads and we like to have fun and build cool shit. I should probably put shoes on, huh? I should probably put shoes on. We're gonna be dealing with some heavy shit.
Yeah, we're moving shit.
shoes.
I feel like if I don't have shoes on, I'm not working as hard as I should be.
Arrived at Precision Tube Laser in Las Vegas. Today's an exciting day. We have 2 chassis to cut out today for the trophy bugs. So this has been a long time planning, and Jordan is super helpful. He's helped us prep this whole chassis for laser cutting today, and today we're gonna see it all happen. So pretty excited, and
Yeah.
we're gonna get this thing going.
Hell yeah. We're going
Game
from,
time, baby.
We're going from the bottom to the top, baby.
Yep, just had a good weekend in the Slug Shark at the low level, and we're fucking going straight to the top next year.
Well, we're gonna try.
We're gonna try.
We're gonna try.
We gotta aim high, man.
Yeah. Shoot for the stars, as my grandmother would
Yep.
say. God bless her soul.
120 an inch and a half 095. Took me most of the day.
We're just going over some terminology for different tubes. Basically to where each tube will have a specific call out to identify what and where the tube goes. That's going to be documented in a folder for us to be able to identify where those tubes go, and they're also going to be laser etched on the tube itself, so there's no way we can get things mixed up, and we can put this thing together efficiently, effectively. And if ever we do have a little issue, we can just cut it all off and order the section that we need to replace it and throw it back on the jig and be back up and running, so there's not a lot of downtime. It's a process. Jordan spent a majority of his Friday doing this for us. He's done it many of times, and it's still a tedious process, but he handled it, and it just makes things so much more easier and professional when we're planning on building a couple of these things. Tubes can get mixed up very easily, and now they can.
Yeah. I mean, it's the most efficient way to do it when you're trying to replace tubes, right? I mean, these things are going to get wrecked at some point. So the biggest thing is being able to, making sure that we're all speaking apples to apples when we're repairing stuff. So being able to know and identify what tubes. So like on here, I've got you broken down very simply. So these are A's, right? Everything's the TTS, right? Okay. And then your A's are your 2-inch 120. Your B's are your 175 by 120. Your C's are your 175 by 095. And that way we kind of know like what folder are we getting into, what section of the truck are we in, where are we at. So that way we're not just identifying it by a number, because you're going to have a lot of tubes that share the same number, but they're going to be different diameters or different wall thicknesses.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure that one, we're cutting from the right wall thickness or the right tube diameter, and just making sure that we're, like I said, we're just speaking apples to apples. Because if you have 3 150s on the truck, you don't want to go through and have all these different tube numbers. It's easy to keep it pretty simple, and the way that SolidWorks extracts tubes, sometimes it duplicates numbers and things like that. So just finding other ways to say, no, this is not a A tube, this is a B tube. So I can already know that, hey, it's 1 3/4 120.
Yeah.
So, and it'll help you guys along the way with your documentation, how you guys choose to physically document it as you're putting it together. You know, whether that's printing pictures of the truck and saying, okay, we're gonna explode all of our C tubes, all of our D tubes, and then that way you've got it and you know, hey, this is what we're talking about. Because the biggest thing is we're not just down the street from each other, so being able to have those conversations over the phone or over email and identify specific tubes and say, okay, number 17, A17, got it. I'll cut one, get it out the door. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how it's broken down right now.
Sick.
So it takes a lot of time to do it, but it's worth it. Again, if you do it right the first time, when you have revisions like what we're going to do right now, it's not that big of a deal, because we're going to go in and just match number for number. We're going to verify first on the chassis that we're talking about the correct tubes, but then we're going to go in and replace, but we're going to replace with a revision so that we know it was changed at this date. And that way we can track and document everything that goes along with this process. Because as you guys are assembling it, you may realize, hey, we would do this different, right? Yeah. So let's go ahead and make the revision now while it's fresh in your head. Go change the solid model, send it over as a revision, replace it, and then we know moving on, we're not using 22, we're using 22 revision 1, right?
22R1.
So
crazy. is an automated loading system. It's gonna come up, hit the conveyor belt, go back, get picked up. It's gonna sight it for how straight the tube is, and it's gonna also give it a measurement of how long it is to make sure that it can use that piece as efficiently as possible with this material. Here we go. First tube's getting cut, dude.
Oh shit!
First tube's about to get cut. We got the tube rolling heavy right now. We're working on flat plate right now. The bulkhead specifically, getting into where the software is driving in between both Kevin and I and Precision. They're bouncing some things back and forth. It's looking pretty promising, and while tube's cutting, flat's about to go next. Exciting. It's exciting. Really, really exciting. Yeah. Check this out. Bulkhead 3/16 laid out. Free now from any sort of.
It'll be all right. It stays pretty low. We run ours on there.
Dang, big poppies! Bingo. Bingo, bango. Well, I don't think for the inner. Yo, we got all pink for one chassis, all green for the second chassis. We didn't even see this until the boys rolled this out. So everything's labeled, marked for tubing diameter, thickness, and all the above, and also labeled so each truck doesn't get mixed up. Sick! Dude, we're loading up TT bug number 1. Woo! And then number 2 soon to follow. And then they're cutting more stuff out. Big heavy fish?
Yeah, this one's that heavy.
Cool. Let's go together. Green chassis.
What's in your bed, dude?
Whole bunch of tube.
He's laying pipe tonight.
Yeah, he laid a bunch of pipe.
Not yet. I cut pipe. Got a bunch of shit going on. tight. It's been a long day. The sun just went down, sun up to sundown again, as always. That's how we do it. I don't know how many hours it was today, but it was a lot. We got a lot done though. Next level shit. These dudes straight killed it. Come on, dude. You gotta come
What
on
up, man? Like, I can't like hold my drinks right here and like do an interview.
Come on, dude. Do you want me to hold those? Here you go.
No, it's okay.
All right, boys. Tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning it is.
All right.
You guys kick ass.
We're all right.
Yeah, they guys are stuck. Hey, where's Kevin? Is he still in there?
Oh,
He's taking a
shit.
shit. Hey, Kevin's still in there taking a shit. Kevin!
Are you pooping?
Kevin!
Kevin!
Well, that's a wrap for today. Tomorrow we'll carry on this episode and finish out the rest of the upper shock mounts off the top of the bulkhead with all that plate work, the overlays for the rear pivots, and a couple more gussets in the back for the back half, as well as the rear bumps and maybe the rear shock mounts even.
Yeah.
He's all, damn it, keep adding it on there, dog.
Listen, man, it has to get done at some point, so it doesn't really matter to us.
All right, you hear that? It has to get done at some point. Might as well happen today, or here's your Sharpie too.
Oh, thanks.
I'll give it for tomorrow.
You can have it. Just consider it a gift.
Blake was good. Yeah, a little tired and sore.
Kevin, you done pooping yet?
It's a big hog he's got going.
Man, he heard us yelling for him. And you hear the toilet paper just go.
And the lights are all off in there. We're back at Precision Tube Laser for day 2, brother. We got this loud ass train over here. I'm about to hop on it and see where it takes me. I'm so damn tired so I can get a nap.
Like Oklahoma?
Yeah, like Oklahoma. I don't know why I was yelling at you. Sorry, I had 2 cups of coffee and it's starting to kick in and I gotta poop. Come on, let's get closer. We're gonna cut out lower arms, upper shock mounts with the bump setup, the bump setups for the rear pivot box overlays. What else? All of it, dude. All of it. Look, all of it. Except the upper arms. We're leaving here with everything but upper arms. We're gonna do billet upper arms. We decided to do them out of chromoly plate just because we're broke ass white boys. And we want the bougie shit, but we can't afford the bougie shit.
Just going through everything again, making a list of all the sheet metal parts that we're cutting, making sure that we're not leaving anything uncut. So we want to make sure we leave here with all the pieces today, and there's a lot of them. So double checking everything, dotting my I's, crossing my T's, so we get this TT rolling sooner than later.
This is 1/2 inch thick aluminum, 6061, and it's cutting this 1/2 inch like butter. Aluminum takes a little bit more energy to get through than steel would. This thing ain't being phased, right?
It doesn't hesitate at 1/2 inch.
It doesn't hesitate, baby. It's a girthy part. Come check out this front motor mount. This is going to be one of our front motor mount sides. Pretty badass. Definitely an awkward looking shape, but this is where our water pump will pick up. It'll make it to where the motor will be fully supported in the front, the mid mount, and then also off the tail shaft of the transmission, or I should say off of the tail shaft of the transmission with the port and underdrive. That's what that's cutting out now. So this is pretty freaking epic. Seeing these come to life. Every part requires not necessarily different, but different size jaws. for bending all this stuff. Different programming, like there's a whole lot that goes into it. Like, look at how sick these overlays are for the whole, like, top, upper shock tower. It's gonna be beautiful. Beautiful. Do you see how many parts and pieces are onto this? It's absolute
Madness. Chaos. I don't even remember what the fuck I drew. I remember all of it. It's definitely surprising to see it all like this.
It's almost, I don't know what time it is, but it's really late. And
It's like 8 o'clock.
these guys are still going hard right now for us. You don't find that in very many other places. That's for damn sure. Their customer service is
insane.
Oh god, I hurt myself.
a lot of parts.
A lot of parts?
A lot of parts.
Oh, okay.
A lot of parts for TT Bug. I'm starting to get delirious. I'm getting accents again. Whenever you hear me with like an accent, I'm either really tired or just like out in Oklahoma hanging out with Papa B too much or something like that. But we're gonna load up the TT Bug chassis, the remaining parts of like the bulkhead, shock mounts, lower arms, spindles, all that good jazz. Motor plates, we're loading all that stuff up. It was a super productive day once again. 2 days of just slicing and dicing here at Precision Tube Laser. These guys are on it. Their crew is tight. They know what the hell they're doing. And we got such a solid team for building these, duplicating these, and fixing them if we mess anything up. And yeah, Kevin nailed it. Everything looked great coming off, fit and finish. Really, really good. Hats off to Kevin, man. He's a wizard. He's a wizard. I'm just the monkey putting it all together, and so that's what's up.
Thanks for everything, man. You're a maniac, bro. Good job, man. Pleasure, man. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
No, man. You know what? As crazy as it was, I'm almost glad it happened the way that it did. You know, like this stuff takes time. You know, and to just try to rush through it ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna cut it.
We waited till everything was ready, and I think we executed it, or you guys executed it as good as
Listen,
possible.
man, it's a fucking team effort all the way, man. It's just, we can't do it without the information from you guys and the input from you guys. And at the end of the day, we want it to go right. You know, and we're only gonna get there. And that's the thing. Like, we're doing it for the first time, which is even harder. It's not like it's the second time around and we're like, hey, all these things work and we're just making tweaks here and there. It's like we're going through the whole process. So it's painful, but it's going to be all worth it in the long run, man.
It's a huge learning experience though for me and for you guys too.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're utilizing all the equipment and all the machines to the best of their ability. I mean, we're pushing everything. And just the machines, us physically, mentally, trying to like really challenge ourselves, you know.
Especially after a brutal weekend.
Yeah, I mean, it's been non-stop, right?
Yeah. Vegas for almost a week now.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, no, man, it's been awesome, man. So I'm definitely looking forward to the future. It's gonna be good.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You too, fucker.
Thanks, bro.
Thanks for bearing with all my shit.
Later, bro.
Making it happen, dude.
That's what it's about, dude. Great job.
They literally put a lot of other stuff on hold for us, and they're staying late to get it done. We got 6-hour drive before we're home. But it's just
Until by midnight, right?
Hey, it's a race to see who gets home first tonight. It's either going to be you or it's going to be me.
We got about the equal amount of work to do.
These guys would be like, we'll get it. people have seen these guys all sleeping on my Instagram before, so yeah. I'm pretty sure this is gonna wrap up this episode of the build series on the TT Bug. We got much more to come. We're gonna go back, organize all these parts, and start documenting the parts and pieces coming together. And maybe before we do that, we'll dive into a little bit of the chassis on the computer with Kevin as we're putting it together on the reason and everything. Yeah, you know what I mean. But if you like what we're doing, again, your comments, your likes, your subscriptions, all that stuff help us keep doing what we're doing. We appreciate everyone, and if you're looking to support Shreddy Life Apparel, we're gonna have some new racing shirts coming out, so shreddylife.com, swoop them. And again, thank you to everyone involved. This is a collective effort. Baker behind the lens, the man right now filming all this, he's putting it all together. Shout out to you, bro, because we're doing it, but you're capturing it and you're putting it together to share. So again, it's a collective effort. Precision tube laser, IMS, material. We got some work to do. Kevin, you ready? Do this. Yeah.